Hey guys, welcome back. It's grimreaper coming at you for another video for Raid Shadows. Hopefully you're doing well and looking after yourselves, and hopefully the week is going well for you. We're near at the weekend. It's been a busy week for all of us in Raid with the Titan events and stuff like that. I know a few people are starting to feel burnt out. Fusion just finished. I feel like another Fusion is gonna go live after next week or the week following. It's probably the week following. It should get announced end of next week. So a bit of an interesting time. Will the next Fusion be good or not? I want to hear from you guys before we get into today's video. Down below, if you think the next Fusion will be god tier. I kind of hope it's a bit trash, if I'm honest. So I can start saving on my shards and possibly skip a Fusion, which is super rare for me to do. Anyway, let's get into today's video. We are on Bracket's account. We have been on this account before. You guys might recognize this if you've seen one or two of my videos recently on the channel. Today it's going to be the world's strongest Fang. I can't pronounce her name, but we're going to do our best. So it's another mythical video. I wanted to bring this. I've been personally looking forward to this because she looks really, really cool. And I think she's probably one of my favorite skins and one of the most unused mythicals when it comes to all of them. So we're going to go for a kit very quickly, and then we're going to take a look of her in arena. We're at the top end of plat, and let's see what she can do, and then we'll show you the builds. I will drop all the timestamps down below. Anyway, so let's go into a kit very quickly. I don't want to spend too much time in the kit. She attacks one enemy, has the defense down on this with on that, so attacks one enemy, very standard. This one's kind of cool. Attacks one enemy 2 times. We ignore stone skin, strengthen, ally protection, and shield. Places a block, revive, debuff on his target is killed. This is on a 3-turn cooldown, so that's super crazy, right? Like, nice little ability there, and this does hit fairly hard as well. So like took out a couple of rolluses, and ignoring stone skin is huge. Like there isn't many people that ignore stone skin. I think there's like 3 or 4 champions in the Raidshadowlegends right now that ignore stone skin. So overall a huge ability. The A3 then, it will give here basically it's just a buff of increased attack, critical rate, and critical damage. It's on a 4-turn cooldown and then grants extra turn. So really, if you think about this, it's on a 3-turn cooldown. You can probably get it on a 2-turn cooldown if this is fast enough, because you get that gain for an extra turn. She does have a aura of 27 critical rate, which I can't really see being used in arena too much, to be honest. And then she has a passive as well of heal this champion for 20% of the damage inflicted, places a death revive on its champion for 2 turns every time they kill a enemy. So a bit like a Catraxa in some sense. A really great stats overall, good speed. Attack is probably very average, I would say, for a mythical. There was a couple of legendaries, I think just below that, I believe. And then let's look at a second form. So attack again, very standard, and then critical damage, very standard. But this is how of a cannon. Anyway, let's have a look of this. So we have a passive skill which will increase his champion's attack and critical damage by 20 while they're in an alt form, so in this form, which is super cool. Attack all enemies 2 times, a double hitter, which is cool again. Places a true fear debuff for 2 turns. This attack will not trigger counterattacks. So like Taurus and Marishka, for example, you will not trigger Taurus's counterattack with Marishka. This attack will also ignore unkillable and block damage. Shame it doesn't ignore stone skin and stuff like that. And then has a AoE again on A1. So just 2 abilities here. Kind of a crazy abilities here. And then also places a extra hit for enemies under true fear. So if you've got a little bit of accuracy, you could probably get a double hit out on that as well. So like a double hit AoE is kind of crazy. Anyway, let's go and have a look of her in arena. We're going to take a look of both forms. Probably not recommended to use her in this. We're kind of just looking at how she can one-shot probably through stone skin and stuff like that. So we're just going to pick on the key things here. So just take this into consideration when we're doing this today's video. We're going to look at the main bits and bobs of that. So I spoke to Brackus. Obviously, Brackus knows us really well. It's his account end of the day, and he is a top tier champion. This is a top 10 platinum arena account week in, week out. So his gear is pretty amazing. So you can also follow these stats as well, but you won't be able to meet the stats. Obviously, we're fully awakened nearly anyway with a +4. So this is like the top end of a full grown nuke, right? So we're going to use Suzagam, we're going to use Necrid to obviously give us some survivability. She's a bit less cannon, so you do need something like Necrid, Duchess, kind of, to really help her. Brackus also said the best way to build her is the 4-piece Savage and Stone Skin, so you can get a 1-turn Stone Skin just to give her a bit of extra survivability as well, so just take that into consideration. Anyway, let's go into fight. Let's not talk too much. I really enjoyed this. I've done a little bit of practice today. I mean, why not, right? Like, I had to get up to platinum anyway, or at least above where the easy teams are not. So we're gonna knock back the turn meter here, and then we're gonna do the lockout. Now we do have one Stone Skin there. We have Pythion in Allied Protection, which is something we need to consider, and we also got Mortimer Carb's passive as well with the block damage. And then kind of want to look at this. So we're going to give her an instant turn. Obviously, I practice her, so I kind of know how to use her now. We have stripped the Stone Skin off, unfortunately. That's something we'll have to look at next round. But she does increase her critical rate there and attack and stuff like that. And then you can see the A2 here, the nice goes ignores ally protection, strengthen, stuff like that, right? So let's have a look at Pythion. Okay, fairly standard, right? We got one hit onto UDK as well, so UDK's passive took one hit. That is a howl of a cannon right there for sure. That's really good because you have to think, like, he soaked up 1 damage, so he only had 1 hit. So obviously it's a +4, that really does help. So again, let's go give her that, and then let's hit Python again with this. Now, this is probably not the best way to use her for sure. I guarantee you it's not the best way to use her. Because I've already done like a few practice laps with this, so I know it's not really the most significant way of using her for sure. But again, I just really want to look at that ability, right? Because it's so cool. And for live arena, like, mythicals are famously notoriously stronger in live arena. That's where they mainly are for, right? So if you are lucky enough to get this girl or any of the mythicals, really, it's a big advantage for live arena. Anyway, as you can see there, we hit of a Halve Cannon. We took Necrid and Mortimer Carp out there. We have a Rodus here, which can be kind of difficult with a UDK to one-shot. Generally need like a double hitter. So let's go and have a look at this. Obviously, we got the fusion, which is super broken. So as long as we go first, we are fine. We're going to use the lockout. Hopefully, we do not strip. Cool, we don't strip. So I'm going to take out this fusion to make sure he's not a problem. Stuff like that. Instant turn. We're going to do the the buff and right through Stone Skin, baby. Oh, yeah. Jeez. UDK went down like pretty easily. All right, let's have a look at the next one. So we got critical rate and stuff like that. So let's save. So really, if you had like critical rate and stuff like this already, you'd save this ability, right, to get into this one like a lot quicker if you was just using this form. So that's something to kind of bear in mind. Rodus, gone. Like, that simple. Right? Might revive the refusion maybe, but wow. Damn, that first form is pretty impressive. Speed teams are like very easy to kind of beat. We've got King Queen here, Marishka. This will be kind of fun to do. Kind of better to look at the second form now. Like, the second form for me is Bon Appetit, like top tier, Halve nuke. and I've seen it go through Stone Skin already. I'm gonna be honest, I've seen it go through Stone Skin. So I'm not too sure, to be honest, if the A2 is very compactful to use. If UDK is there, lets you go through UDK straight away. And I'll be honest, I don't want to see this king surviving this as well. So it's probably better to come in with this and sit down, Rishka, baby. Ooh. Sit down. Shame we didn't nuke her though. We also have allied attack as well, which again is super effective with AoE attacks. So that's something to kind of take into consideration. That's what we also bring into the game here as well. So damn, king is back up. We're going to do allied attack here. We didn't get much damage there, to be honest. Oh, it's because his passive, sorry, doesn't allow him to receive damage from that. So yeah, I forgot about that, to be fair. Which is okay, you know. That down doesn't really do anything for us. Let's go in there. You saw that, right? At 87k on an A1. Damn. I think she looks like so cool. Oof. Rishka gone down. We'll transform into second form, try and lock them out so to make sure they're not a problem. If they can reset. There's a counter attack. Lovely. And then we'll take out Queen here. So we took out like one of the strongest duos in the game. That was 139k damage on that A1 against King Nurse. Okay, so we're gonna take on this last team here and see what we can do. Taurus, Marishka, King. Sorry, not Taurus and Marishka. There's Taurus, King, Queen, Sifi. Now there is one 6-star sheep that we need to be careful of. I can't see them putting Phase of Presence on it because it's a Taurus. Be how weird if they did do that. So okay, so let's do increase speed, lockout. Let's do that. Let's do this, and then let's do second form, and then say hello, my friend, the nuke cannon. Ooh, oh yeah, yeah. I mean, let's admit it, that is beautiful to see. Like, these champions are not half built or anything like that. They're really like up there with the builds, you know what I mean? Okay, we are empowered and for blessings, so we have a lot going on for us. I agree. But damn, nearly broke the stone skin there. The true power of mythicals. And let's see the A1. Nice. She's not in the true fear, so it only hit once. And we should be able to clean this up in a second. Just do a lockout just to be safe. Don't want us to get any smart ideas with the revive. Change into first form. I think the first form like looks so innocent, but really point cannon. She only needed one hit there. So my god. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the build, and I'll show you everything that's going on, and we'll talk about a couple of key things. Okay, so here is the build. So obviously I spoke to Brackers. Brackers did inform me that the best style of build on her is a 4-piece Savage. with a 4-piece stone skins, just in case you don't have that Necrid as well, that Suzagan. That is probably like the best way to build her, but obviously you still want the stats that you want, like good attack, good critical damage, good critical rate, and good speed. They're like the main 4 things to kind of look at. So as you can see, we're going to show you the gear quickly. We've got attack banner here, critical damage, critical ascended, attack here across the board as well. We've got critical damage there twice, double attack, and then speed, tap boots with speed. And then we have pretty much nice gear all across here as well. Let's go and take a look at the stats in both forms. We have 9,579 attack, 209 speed, and then 376 critical damage. Only 70% critical rate, but bear in mind she can buff up her own critical rate. You just need to be careful when you use that second form to go back into the second form, but there is a couple of champions you could use with her. So if you don't have Suzerain, you could use Cardiel, right? He has that on his ally attack with the critical rate buff, Faircon the Fat as well. So there's a couple of options that you could take with her to be a bit of an extra security blanket. And then on the second form, it's pretty much the same. So they don't change at all on the stats there. Let me just double check that quickly to make sure I did that correctly, because I know in the last video someone did point out I did do it wrong and it made sense to do that. Yes, okay, so I did do it correctly this time. Obviously I went into second form thinking it was going to show me the correct stats, and it was not the case at all. So that's something Raid could work on. So the ideal blessing is at the moment it's Harvest Cass. It's like pretty much 90% of the time what people are running in Arena. Personally, I'm still a big fan of Lightning Cage just because there is a lot of strip champions in Raid, but I think that's just a personal preference. You do obviously get a bit extra damage than this, than Lightning Cage. So that's my penny's worth there, right? And then obviously these are the masteries. So let me go ahead and turn off the camera. We have a couple of key masteries, so it's come down here for the Retribution, which is always nice for second form because AoE. Got Cycle of Magic because of how much damage that you're dealing. You do want to try and get that cooldown much as possible. We have Shield Breaker because there is also a lot of shields and stuff like that in the second in the defenses. UDK, Duchess, Queen, they all have shields in a kit, so Shield Breaker is definitely viable. This will mainly be effective for the second form because it does not ignore shields. We've got Ruthless Ambush, and we got Hound Smasher Statistics Mastery to ignore or have a chances, a 50% chance of ignoring a 25% defense. So it does stack with other things as well. So again, let's just look at the second form. So it would ignore unkillable and block damage. So Shield Breaker is definitely very viable for these two here, and then very viable for the first hit here, but it won't work with this because it ignored shield, so it wouldn't work for this. Just bear that in mind. So there we are, guys. There is my overall champion showcase on Fang. I'm gonna call her Fang because I cannot pronounce her name, and we all know I'm bad with names. Overall, I really enjoy her. Sheep is her problem in a second form, but her first form, it hits like a cannon and is very effective. Champions like Monkey, not a problem. Rhodas, not a problem. For live arena, if you've got her, build her up properly, follow this guide, and you're not going to be let down by that. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching my content. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. It helps support the channel. I've been Grim Reaper. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.